Media representatives, on behalf of Asian Football Confederation, I'm delighted to welcome you to this press conference ahead of final match between Japan and Australia teams for AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026. It's my big pleasure to welcome to this press conference head coach of Australia team Joey Montemuro and player Ellie Carpenter. Before passing the floor for your questions, I will invite both head coach and player to share their thoughts on the upcoming final match. Please, coach.
Yeah, I'd like to start by wishing my wife a happy birthday. We won't get the chance to celebrate, but hopefully tomorrow night's occasion will allow us to celebrate in a nice way.
Thank you, coach. Also, player, please share your thoughts too.
Yeah, obviously just arriving here at the stadium and just going out to look at the pitch. It feels surreal to be here again at a major tournament in Australia, gearing up for the final tomorrow. I got goosebumps walking out there, so it's very exciting, and what a time to be a footballer in Australia.
Thank you. Now I'm passing the floor for your questions. If you have it, please raise your hand for the microphone. Starting from you, please, and second from you.
Neil Chellett for the cutback. Hello, coach. All the best for the final. We were speaking to Niels Nielsen, the Japan coach, earlier, and he was telling us about the sort of personal relationship between you two and the admiration for your work. So, could you perhaps speak a bit about that? And does that at all impact your sort of tactical preparations for the match?
Yeah, look, Niels and I have been involved in mentor programs, and I've got the utmost respect for him as a person and as a coach, and what he's doing with the Japan team, taking it to another level, I think is really special. And look, he's a great person, and I don't know tactically whether we're gonna be able to exchange ideas, but. Look, I think it's going to be a great occasion, and we've seen the work that he's done with his team, and I know a lot of his previous work with the Swiss national team, and the work he's done outside that, and the way he thinks, and he's an excellent football aficionado. I'd probably say that word, but I've got the utmost respect for Niels, and he's a great person.
Thank you, coach. Next question from you.
G'day, Joe. There's probably some scarring from our experiences in 2023, particularly at this stadium, but when we all saw that Sam was supposed to do this press conference and dropped out, we all possibly panicked for a moment. Can you just confirm she's all good, and assuming that she is, how pleased you are with the way that she's been able to build through this tournament, given her pretty limited build-up?
Sam's done a lot of press, so I think we like to share the love with all that, and I think it's even more special to have Ellie here after the great game she's played from that perspective. But Sam's fine, everything's fine. We're all ready to go, and I'm so happy for her and proud of her, because she's really shown why she's such a world-class player in this tournament, and world-class players, as I keep on saying, manage the moments in big tournaments. She's done that.
Thank you, coach. Next question.
Joe, can I ask what you got your wife, or will a trophy tomorrow night be enough? And Ellie, last time you guys played Japan, it was a pretty ugly loss. I think Tom, who was interim at the time, described that as an un-Australian performance. How do you reflect on how far this team's come from then to now?
Yeah, I think for us as a team, we've grown so much since then. And also in this tournament, I think obviously we didn't go down the route we wanted to originally, but I think in the end it's come to, I think, the better route for us. I think we've had some tough games, against North Korea, China, and I think that's really set us up well for tomorrow night. We really have that momentum and that never say die attitude. I think we've really shown that. I think we needed that. I think we needed to see that fight again within the team, to all to come together, and I think we're in no better place than we are right now for tomorrow.
Thank you. Next question. From you, please. Okay.
I believe you had your tactical meeting yesterday. How do you come up with a game plan against Japan, who have seemed invincible, and do you kind of need a plan A, B and C?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, they seem to find solutions in whatever situation you throw at them. Look, we've got some ideas that we think could be important. As much as a great team they do have a couple of weaknesses. I'm not going to divulge those. Where we think if we find some continuity and just some I think some rhythm with the ball, I think we could do some good things in the game. But let's not take away from a team that has many solutions under different circumstances. They're a very good team, and we just have to make sure that we're prepared. Obviously in all phases, defending and attacking.
Thank you, Coach. Next question.
Joe, congratulations on making the final. Ellie was asked about the She Believes Cup before. No doubt that game has formed part of your analysis, both on taking on the role and the build up to this one. How, not to brown nose, aside from you coming into the dugout, how has this side gotten better since then so that the result will be different this time around?
I haven't watched that game, I'll be honest with you. I looked at the result, but I haven't watched it. I've watched more recent games of Japan. Look, it's like everything. It's contextual. It's the context of the situation. Where the team was at that time, and the tournament and where it was within even the season of the players. So, and I think this is a different sort of scenario. This is a different. It's a cup final. It's a final of a tournament. Both teams have had different routes there, and both teams have progressed and been better, or have made changes accordingly. So I think the context is a little bit different to sort of make any assumptions on the She Believes Cup at that time, and we're better prepared because we've found a level of adaptability. We've found a level of understanding that when things aren't going the way we planned, we can change and we can find a way. And that's a sign of a team that believes, a team that's is obviously growing in their own belief with themselves. And obviously we've put in a couple of different tactical approaches that hopefully will find that balance. But I think adaptability is the word. I think this team is able to adapt accordingly. I mean, you've seen when we've had our backs against the wall, we've changed things slightly and been able to find a way. So I think when you're in these contexts, I think that ability to be selfless and adapt is really important.
Thank you, Coach. Next question.
Hi, Ellie. Steph spoke yesterday and said that in a final like this, it often comes down to who wants it more. Can you talk a bit about how much you want this, having been involved in the team for so long and yet to lift a trophy like this?
Yeah, I think for us having this tournament at home, I said before the semi-final in Perth, that this will be probably the last semi-final we'll play on home soil in a major tournament. So we need to give it our all. And yeah, I think the first half for us in that game wasn't good enough. I think China were better than us in most areas, and just more about who wanted it more. And we had a word with each other at halftime, and we said, "Come on, we're at home. We need to win these first ball, second balls." And I think that leads into the final tomorrow. I think, when can I say even that I'll have another final in Australia in a major tournament? Never, probably. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us and most of the girls' careers. And yeah, it is who wants it more tomorrow. And we can't forget we're at home, and we need to bring our aggressiveness, our physical game, our speed into this game tomorrow, because we know Japan probably won't like that. They haven't been tested like that before in this tournament, and we know our strengths, and we have to play to our strengths tomorrow. But yeah, I think for us, it's been 16 years since we've lifted that trophy. I've been in this team for 10 years and haven't lifted a trophy with the team yet. So yeah, tomorrow's an amazing opportunity for us to hopefully do that, and I think it'll be a cherry on top for most of the girls. Could be their last tournament with this team. So yeah, it's a big one tomorrow.
Thank you. Next question from you, please.
On a similar kind of theme, what did the team learn from the World Cup campaign about dealing with the pressure and expectation that comes with playing big matches in front of a home crowd?
Yeah, I think for us as a team, we thrive with that. I think tomorrow, we're just looking at the stadium now. I got goosebumps walking out there because it's such an amazing stadium. Our fans tomorrow, I heard it's going to be a sellout, and just walking out, seeing that anthem before the game, it makes me a little bit emotional because the amount of people come out to support us, and we want to put on a show for them. We don't want to leave them disappointed tomorrow, but also for us as footballers, we want to inspire the next generation, and we did that I think at the World Cup, and this is another opportunity for us tomorrow. But we love the big pressure moments, and we felt that at the World Cup that we grew into that tournament, and I think for this tournament tomorrow as well, we'll be ready for the occasion.
Thank you. Next question from you, please.
Following on from that, Joe David Mark from the ABC, just following on from those questions, to what extent, and you've come into the job fairly recently, but to what extent do you feel the weight of history, the fact that this golden generation of amazing players haven't won a tournament for 15 years?
Look, I go Ellie's emotional speech there. I think it's a real time. I think a really important point. Yeah, for football, but also for an amazing generation of players that have an amazing opportunity that they've worked so hard for. And for me, it is quite emotional to be part of that and be part of understanding the journey, understanding what it's taken to get to this point. They're at the pinnacle of their game tomorrow night, and for me, I just am so excited for them, but more importantly, so excited for the nation and football and what it means. It's just I suppose there was an expectation that we do well in the tournament, and we've done that, and now we just now need to make sure that we keep to that expectation and make sure that we give it everything we've got.
Thank you, Coach. Next question from you.
Hi both, Amanda from ABC Sport. Ellie, this one's for you. Joe's spoken a lot through the tournament about belief, the fact the team is growing in belief, and this team needs to believe that it is world class. From your perspective, where is that belief mindset at, and how much has it evolved even just through this tournament?
Yeah, I think our belief has grown into this tournament. Obviously, we've had some struggles. That draw against Korea, he felt like a loss for us. Because we set our expectations so high and we have standards of ourselves. But I think for us, we need to believe. We need to look at our squad, our 26-player squad. We have world-class players. We have players playing at the best clubs in the world. We have some of the best players in the world in our team. I don't think we should disrespect that and go into this game scared whatsoever. Japan is a great team, a world-class side, but I think for us, we can match that, and we need to come into the game confident. And the first 15 minutes of the game, for me, is going to be the most important to set the tone. And we're at home. We're also at home. We need to believe. And with the crowd behind us, it's going to be so important tomorrow night. But yeah, for me and for the team, we're just ready to be out there tomorrow and to fight and to believe and to hopefully get the job done.
Thank you. Questions from you, please.
Joe, there's been a bit of discussion today already about who might be favourites for the game tomorrow. Where do you see things? Rankings, recent results suggest you might be underdogs, but what's your opinion?
That's not a question for the coach of the team that's in the final. I mean, you'll all have your opinions in regards to ranking, in form, in terms of how we've played, how they've played. There's no favourites in the final. It's the best team and the one who wants it more, and the one who is smart enough to manage the moments. If we manage the moments well tomorrow, we'll do well in the game. So yeah, it's a difficult one for me to answer for you.
Thank you, Coach. Last question from you, please.
David Winner, Football 360. Joe, Japan were impressive in their semi-final. They have been the whole tournament. How important is the start tomorrow in the final to match fire with fire and play that proactive style that you've spoken about through the tournament?
Yeah, look, setting the tone is going to be very, very important. I think in any final or any sport, if you set that tone at the start, then you can then settle and manage the pressure and manage the moments better. So, absolutely, the first, as Ellie said, the first 10, 15 minutes, that approach of the way we approach it. First of all, we have to control our emotions and focus on the moment, focus on the situation, focus on the collective, and focus on what we've worked on that we believe in the first 15 minutes are going to be crucial. And if we can manage that pressure and those emotions, I think we'll set a good tone for ourselves in the first 15 minutes, and then we go from there.
Thank you, Coach.